Hello everyone. In this video, let's discuss how to find the diameter of a binary tree. Given the root of a binary tree, return the length of the diameter of the tree. The diameter of a binary tree is the length of the longest path between any two nodes in a tree. This path may or may not pass through the root. The length of a path between two nodes is represented by the number of edges between them. So here they have given number of edges between two nodes of the longest path. So here from 4 to 3 we have the longest path, that is 1, 2, 3. That is why we have got the output value as 3. So in the binary tree 1, 2, the longest path is only 1. Now let's discuss the logic in detail. So here they have given a binary tree. So here I need to find the longest path between any two nodes. Okay. So for this, what we are going to do is I'll take a method. So public int diameter. So here I have passed only one argument. So tree node, that is root. Fine. Now let's call a method called helper. I'll pass the root. Fine. So here I'm going to take one more variable called result that I'm going to declare it globally. So int result. So whatever the value we are storing in result, that has to be returned from this function. So I'll give return result. So here we have to find the length of the longest path between any two nodes that should not pass through the root also. So here I will be finding height of the left subtree and the right subtree. I'll sum the value that will be stored in the result. The maximum value will be stored in the result. For that I have called the recursive call. So here public int helper, I have passed only one argument. So fine. First I will be checking the base condition. What is the base condition I'm going to check? If root is equal to null, what I have to do? Return 0 from the function. Fine. Afterwards, I have to find the height of the left subtree and right subtree. For that, I am going to write the recursive call. Okay. Int left is equal to helper root dot left. Similarly, for right recursive call, I have to call one more recursive call. Int right equal to helper root dot right. So I have got the left recursive and right recursive. Now I have to find the maximum path. For that, the variable result is equal to the maximum value between result and left subtree plus right subtree, because the height of the left subtree and right subtrees sum should be taken. That will be considered as the longest path. Then finally, from this method I have to return the height of the tree. So how can I return the height of the tree? Return 1 plus math dot max left comma right. So here we are finding which is the height, whether left subtree gives me the height of the tree or right subtree gives me the height of the tree. For that we have to add 1 because that is the root value. This is the logic of the program. So here we are not finding the height. In case if you are finding the height of a tree, either left subtree's longest path or right subtree's longest path will be considered as the height. So this statement is not required in case if you are finding the height of a tree. But here we are not finding the height of a tree, we are finding the diameter. Diameter is nothing but longest path from one node to another node. So that is why we are finding the sum of left and right subtree that will be compared with the result value. So to find the diameter of the binary tree. Let me trace the code and show you so that you can have a clear understanding of it. Initially, I will call a method called helper. I will be passing the root value. So helper, the root value is 100. Currently, I will be standing on this particular node. Okay. After this, check root equal to null. No, root is not equal to null. So I'll go to the left subtree. Okay, left subtree is this. I'll go to this particular node, which means I'm going to call a recursive call helper. Fine. Now check whether root is equal to null. No, root is not equal to null. So I have to go to the left subtree. So from here I'll go to the left subtree called 500. So I have to call a recursive call helper 500. So check root is equal to null. No, root is not equal to null. So I am going to call a recursive call. So helper of left subtree is null. So when I go to the left subtree, null value. So root equal to null. Yes, root is equal to null. So this function will return me a value 0. Where will it return 0? To the place where I have called the left recursive call. That value should be stored in the variable called left. So in this method, in the left recursive call, I have to return the value called 0. Done. So from the method 500, I have to call the right recursive call. So when I call the right recursive call, helper of null will be called. So when I call root is equal to null. So what I have to do, right recursive call will return me a value called 0 to this place. This is the right recursive call. Okay, left recursive call got over, returned the value 0. Right recursive call also got over, returned the value 0. Now we are finding the diameter. So to find the diameter, what I have to do? I have to find the sum of left subtree and right subtree, which is 0 plus 0, which is 0, and result. So initially I have declared a global variable called result and initialize the value is 0. Okay. Now what I am going to do? I am just comparing result and a left plus right subtree. So left plus right subtree is 0 and result is also 0. So these two, which is maximum, 0 is the maximum value. So the value 0 will be stored in the variable called result. After that, I have to return the height from this particular method. So height, how can I return? Maximum value of left and right, because height can be calculated either from the left subtree or right subtree. Out of which is the longest part, that is the height of the tree. So find the maximum value between left and right. The maximum value of left and right is 0 plus 1, which is 1. 1 will be returned to which place? Where I have called the helper of 500. Helper of 500 has been called by this place. So for this place, I will be returning the value as 1, that is considered to be the height. So 1 plus this value. So 1 has been returned here. Now helper 500 has returned a value called 1. Now currently I am standing on the method called helper 200. On the method helper 200, I have called a left recursive call. And for the variable left, I have the value called 1. Now I have to call the right recursive call. So I will call the method called 600. Helper of 600. Now currently where I am standing on this node. Check root is equal to null. No, root is not equal to null. Go for the left subtree. So when I go to the left subtree, we have got the value null. When we are getting the value null, I have to return 0. So here I will return the value called 0. Left subtree, I will have a value 0. So next I will call right subtree. So when I call right subtree, here we have null. So I will be returning the value called 0. Now I am standing on the method called helper. On helper of 600, left subtree also over, right subtree also over. Now what I have to do? I have to find the diameter. How can I find the diameter? Maximum value of result and left plus right subtree. Left value is 0, right value is also 0. 0 plus 0 is 0 and result value is already 0. So maximum value is 0 only. That will be stored in the variable result. Now height of this particular subtree has to be returned. How can I find the height of subtree? Maximum value of left and right subtree. So 0 and 0, the maximum value is 0 plus 1. So 1 will be returned to this particular place. So 1 will be returned to right child of this. Okay. Now currently I am standing on the method called helper of 200. In the helper of 200, left subtree over, right subtree also over. Just through recursion it has been over. Now I have to find the diameter of this particular subtree. So how can I find the diameter of this particular subtree? Find the maximum value of result and sum of left plus right. Left is having the height 1, right is also having the height 1. So 1 plus 1, 2. So 2 and result value is 0. 2 and 0, which is the maximum value. 2 is the maximum value that will be stored in the variable result. Okay. After storing this, I have to find the height of this particular subtree. So which is maximum value of left and right. That is 1 plus 1, that is 2. So 2 will be returned to the place where I have called the method called helper of 200. So helper of 200 will return me a value called 2 to this place. Done. Okay. Now left subtree height is 2. Now I have to go for the right recursive call. Now currently I am standing on the method called helper of 100. I have to go to the right recursive call. That is helper of 300. Now I will go to the method called helper of 300. Now check whether root is equal to null. No, root is not equal to null. So I have to go to the left recursive call. When I go to the left recursive call, I have the value called null. So this will return me a value called 0. Okay. Similarly, I will call the right recursive call. This will also return me a value called 0. Done. Now I have to find the diameter. So diameter is result value is 2. Sum of left and right is 0. So 0 and 2, which is the maximum value. 2 is the maximum value. So that will be stored in the variable result. Fine. Now I have to return the height of this subtree. So how can I find the height of this subtree? Maximum value between left subtree and right subtree, that is 0 plus 1. So 1 will be returned by this method, that is helper 300 will return me a value called 1 to this place. Done. Now in this method helper of 100, left subtree is having the value 2, right subtree is having the value 1. So I have to find the height. In case if I want to find the height, return the maximum value of left and right plus 1. So maximum left and right plus 1 will be the height. Actually we are finding the diameter. So diameter is the sum of left subtree plus right subtree. So result value is 2, comma, left plus right. So 2 plus 1, that is 3. So maximum of 2 and 3 is 3. 3 will be stored in the variable result. Okay, 2 plus 3, 3 will be stored in the variable result. So now from this method, helper of 100, I have written the height. Height value is maximum of these two is 2 plus 1, 3. 3 will be returned by this method. So that will be returned to the place where I have called the method called helper. Actually, we are not printing the height, we are printing the diameter. So diameter is stored in the variable called result. So result value has to be returned from this method. 3 will be returned from this function. Now let's try to implement it as a program. So here I am going to declare a variable called result first. I'll initialize the value 0. I'm going to declare this globally. Now I'm going to call a method called helper. I'll be passing root. So whatever the value stored in the result, that has to be returned as my final answer. Now let's define the method called helper. Public int helper. So helper helps us to find the height of the tree. I'm going to pass a method called root. So first I have to check the base condition. Base condition. So if root equal to null, return 0. Okay. Afterwards, left recursive call for height. So for that, int left is equal to helper root dot left. Similarly, right recursive call. So int right is equal to helper root dot right. Now I have to find the diameter. What is the diameter? Longest path between one node to another node. For that, result is equal to math dot max result comma longest path. So I have to find the sum of left and right. Done. Return the height of the tree. So how can I return the height of the tree? 1 plus math dot max of left is left, right is which is the maximum value that has to be returned. That's all. This is the logic of the program. Let's run the code now. As it passes the test cases, let's submit the code. As it passes all the test cases. That's all.